Well, hello everyone. Ooh, we probably need to wipe the old camera off there. Oh, much better. Beautiful thing. Okay. Today we are tying up an order. Someone's got a little bit of everything of the what I call the wildlife series, which is the big bad wolf, the grizzly bear, and the spawning salmon. These are these nice craffer jigs. They're on a 1/16 ounce jig head, and they fish. They fall so perfectly slow and jig straight up to the top. So we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it cracking. Yeah, David. I had it set up originally because I usually stream from my computer with my phone as a camera, and I forgot to change that, and I had to change some settings. So we got it all figured out now. All right, let's let's get my tie-in stuff ready. Almost sorry. What happened? I'm Jason. I'm living with HIV, and I'm on Cabenuva. It helps keep me. All right. For adults who are under. For both of these, we use the 210 denier thread. You can get every other month. Cabenuva is 2 injections given by my healthcare provider. Skip these ads. And I was telling everyone previously that if you are interested in these, there's a little demo up on my Etsy site on exactly what these look like when they're swimming. Now for the grizzly bear, we use a black marabou feather. And then for the big bad wolf, we got a nice gray one. So we got this beautiful craft fur. Now for this jig in particular with this craft fur, every rotation, every spin, I like to fold that fur back onto itself. Let me get the old spool out of the way here. And that gets the fur direction all in one nice row, and it also gives it this very nice like tapered effect. No, these actually, I don't even know you could, well, you could probably cast these on a flat rod. But I make these heavy enough to be thrown on spin gear. So I typically don't tie traditional what are called dry flies, where you have to throw on floating fly line. I like throwing for what I fish with, and man, let me tell you what. While I own a fly rod, my skills are quite atrocious. Quite atrocious. I end up in. Well, here's the thing. I think I'm fly fishing in the wrong areas because I fish in my creeks, and there's trees everywhere, and I always end up catching a tree, ruining my tippet and my leader, and just I get frustrated and I have to start tying that all over again in the middle of the creek. And that's never fun. So what I find fun is fishing on gear I know how to fish. Oh boy. Oh, now Jen's calling me. What up, Tyler? Hang on one second. Let me text Jen real quick here on my phone. She said, "Call me back." Hi. Hey. Yeah. You good? Okay. All right. Love you. Bye. All right. We back. All is good. All is good. Jen is doing great. She is feeling much stronger now. I took her on a pretty intense Wade session, which you guys will see on the YouTube channel coming up very soon, probably next week. What else we got going on? Let's see. I took Jay from Fishman TV out and put him on his not only first but PB Smalley, and that's awesome. That's coming out. So I got an episode coming out today at 5, and then I got an episode. That episode with Jay is going to be Wednesday at 5. I can't remember what today's is. Oh, today is a trophy fish in a Fish Ohio trophy fish in a super tiny creek. Super tiny creek. That was fun. It was a creek that I had visited about, I don't know, month and a half ago. And I was doing, are the creeks awake yet? And I determined that creek was not awake yet. And I said, I need to come back here in about 4 to 5 weeks. And I bet this creek will be fired up. Sure enough, I went back. First fish was a Fish Ohio. So that was super awesome. I am telling you what, I don't know what's going on this spring, but you're right. It's the fishing has been, I don't know if there's something in the water, but there's been some absolute behemoth smallies. Did I just cut my string? I sure did. Well, if you ever do that, there's a way to fix it. Dude, I messaged him and I was like, what was in the water where you were fishing? Holy smokes, dude. Friggin', he was fishing a nuclear waste plant or something. And he didn't entertain us with a single measuring board measurement. We just got to hear it, which I don't doubt any of those fish were the size they were. I mean, those fish were absolute tanks. Good night. But Brian, come on, man, you got to give us one on the board. It's like not showing a sweet release video or a sweet release clip. No, I'm like, dude, throw one on a scale or a board for me. I need the self satisfaction of seeing one of those bad boys on a measuring tape. So what I'm tying up here, guys, is the grizzly bear. Nice brown craft fur. And these have a very, very nice, subtle fall to them because that craft fur displaces a lot of water. And so if you like a jig that doesn't go straight to the bottom into the rocks, this is the jig for you. Now, sometimes you want to get straight to the bottom and just get down there quick. But if you want something that takes its time after you give it that quick, like up and then let it fall down, this is the jig for you. And I love sometimes having that subtle bite because a lot of times they will react and eat on that fall. I know I've tied so many of these at this point. I think I've had, I don't know, for the big bad wolves, I've had like 30 or 40 orders for these. So now these can just go super fast. And they're not a terribly complicated jig. I mean, we're just doing two materials. Marabou and craft fur and the thread itself. Sometimes the simple things are what work the best. You can straight retrieve these, and the marabou tail is long enough to where it's going to get a little waggle behind it when you do a straight retrieve. Or you can just do a classic vertical jigging on these. Either way works out just fine. You know what? Me and Paul went out. Uh, I didn't film. He filmed. I wanted a day of fun, like unplugged. So I went camera free and we went out and he had a little jig head on. And of course, I love to play What's Under This Rock. So I was his bug finder and I was finding him grubs and larvae and hoagies and he was throwing them on and catching fish. That was a fun day. I'm sure he'll have that up on the channel here soon. And so that got me to thinking. Anyway, my point was that I want to do that. There's actually this little almost like fanny pack belt style. It's like a decline. Sorry. Every time I get a phone call, it comes through my comes through my computer. Anyway, I found this like fanny pack style thing that you clip on, almost like a belt, and it has like a little bit of drainage in it. You can put leaves and rocks and mud in it, and then you can like put your helgies and crawdads and everything in it, and it sits on your waist on your belt. I'm already getting it, and I want to have a day where I go out or we go out or whatever, and just strictly bring terminal tackle, no lures brought. So you just force yourself to fish with what you find. And I did that at one time before with Paul and Jason, and I found a frog, a little tiny frog, and I put a hook through his butt, and we were fishing this one pool, and there was this giant shrub, and all I did was I cane pulled it. I dipped it down into the shrub, and a big old 4-pound channel cat came out and smoked it. We were all so surprised. I was like, whoa, did not imagine that. And of course, I think I pranked Paul that day. He was like looking in one of the shrubs for something. I don't know if they were snagged. And then I took my pole up behind him and poked him in the leg. Because they were like, I don't want to put my hand down there. It's freaking snapping turtles. Had to get him. Had to get him. All right. So if you buy the Big Bad Wolf, they come in a 3-pack like this. You'll get a little 3-pack. You can buy them in 3-packs like that, Big Bad Wolf, or you can get one each of the Big Bad Wolf, spawning salmon, or the grizzly bear, and I call it the 3 little jigs. Haha, clever, I know. All right, so those are the grizzly bears. Now let's go over to the Big Bad Wolves. The Big Bad Wolf. All right, the Big Bad Wolf looks like this. Nice silvery gray. Uses some beautiful gray marabou. Ooh, I need to re-up on this. I'm almost out. Enough for like 6 more jigs. Now, I do not make these the traditional crappie length. These are a long piece of marabou. It's almost 3 inches long in just the marabou. And then you've got the head of the bait. So this is like a 4-inch bait. Like I said, I love tying for what I fish for, and that's smallies. And while you can finesse jig these and finesse them, you can straight retrieve these as well. And that tail, when you make it that long, has a nice amount of waggle to it. Yes, it does, Steve. Imitates a shad. Look, I got David on YouTube and Steve on TikTok. I got the bros on both sides. Y'all are awesome. All right, let's get some craft fur of the gray flavor cut and ready. David says, "What up, bro?" Steve says, "Well, hell, on YouTube." There we go. Now we got the Brockway boys all together on YouTube over here. Yes, these are on the Etsy store under jigs and kits. You can get them 3 matching ones, or you can get 1 each in a 3-pack, but they come in 3-packs. Brockway, Brockway Bros, boys. We're all boys at heart. Let me tell you what, I have probably on the last 4 fishing missions, which will be coming up soon, have been fishing heavily the Scorpion Caterpillar, which is also one on my Etsy shop. When they want it finessed, man, they don't give that thing a second to hit the ground. Like, they're on it. And I, listen, not going to toot my own horn. This is not an original design, right? This is just a cool design. The colors are my thought original, but this is something I came up with and I've never seen anyone make. I was really wanting to do a Senko worm, but I thought let's do a streamer that floats with foam. And so when it hits the bottom, it rests on the bottom. And this keeps not only this hook, but this hook upright and out of the rocks. So it's a really awesome finesse style bait that works the bottom well. Right, Big Bad Wolf. Gonna toot my own horn. I'm just proud of the way it turned out. I really was impressed with, because you never know how it's going to look in the water or how it's going to swim or act until you actually test it. It's just like making a mold of a bait that's like completely original. It's like, okay, well, it looks nice. Does it swim? Does it fish? Does it look right? I think that's half the battle of coming up with a new style is like, all right, looks good. Does it work? And you never know until you tie it on and actually get it wet and getting in the water. Find out if you actually made a winner. And that one turned out to be a winner. And that was probably its 4th iteration, because we originally made it with craft fur at the back and it just sank. It just went and sat there. And then we made it with foam wrapped in chenille, and it went halfway. I could kind of see it wanting to rise. And then I made more foam and still covered it with that, but the chenille was weighing down that tail. So I said, all right, let's just go straight foam. And rest is history. Big Bad Wolf in the house. Big Bad Wolf in the house. I've had people notice my concentration face. Jen loves to poke fun at me because especially when I'm painting, I get this like kind of face going. She's like, "Babe, are you locked in?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's my concentration face." I've had people notice the same thing when I tie flies. They're like, "Look how tense he's getting." I'm like, "I know. Got to focus on the work." Want it to be 100%. Then what I do with these when I clean up the head is I do run the thread dam back just a little bit, maybe an eighth of an inch. And what that does is it creates a nice little taper in the craft fabric, creates a nice little thread dam right there. Also gives it a nice clean look, but it gives that nice shape to the bait and gets all that craft fur going in the right direction. Photographer's face. That's probably where I got it. Here we go. Big bad wolf, y'all. And they do not look this floofy in the water. So if you have never seen marabou in the water, this tail does not look floofy like this. Oh, this one does not belong to me. Let me get the one that I use for demonstrations. So when it gets wet, I don't even know if I can get it wet enough with spit here. It slicks down to a tail like this and then starts waggling in the water. So it does not stay floofy like that. It almost looks like a swimming leech or a very like slimmed down like minnow. So that's why marabou is used a lot in fly tying. And then the craft fur stays fairly bulky like this. This doesn't slim down very much, but the marabou absolutely does. It slims down right down to almost nothing. So where it's like nice and tight together, and then that water just kind of gives it that subtle wave and move action. So those are the big bad wolf and the grizzly bear. You can get all different color profiles, and then if you choose to, we've got one. I don't think I have one made. Do I? Do I have one made? I just sold a bunch of them, so I might have packed them all up. I think I did. But there is one that's called Spawning Salmon that's got like almost a soft pink craft fur and then a pink tail. I don't, but we've got lots of different jigs in here. So thank you for hanging out and seeing a couple new different styles of jigs. These are great for, you can use them for crappie, you can use them for bass, but they are going to catch fish no matter what. I will see you guys on the next Fishin' Mission and stream on YouTube. Goodbye.